Shalom, this is Natalie Zangon with another video of the day. So today I wanted to do a video about intimacy, feminine energy, and the female biology, and how do we better understand it, relate it, explain it to our kids, explain it to ourselves, be better comfortable with it, and how it affects our mental state as we become adults. So the way we look at the feminine part of ourselves as girls and females, and the messages we hear and the way we are talked to eventually becomes our blueprint and our statements and messages that we go to later on into adult life. It becomes the blueprint. So the feminine energy and the females and the girls are just abundant and full of blessings and good things in them. And on top of that, there's the biological clock within the woman's body that it goes through different stages and different changes in the girl's life. And many cultures, for some reason, instead of looking at this as a beautiful transformation that the girl goes through, it's kind of really not discussed and talked about, and the girls are supposed to figure it out by themselves. Some that have older sisters or aunts or live in a village tend to be luckier because someone might talk to them. Some other people that are not as unfortunate, that do not have that kind of access, end up not knowing and just having to figure it out themselves of what's happening to their body, why it's happening, how it's happening, when it's happening. So there's a lot of not knowing that takes place, and I am here and I have a vision that together we're going to make a change for the next generation and create dignity, appreciation, and recognition of that. And this is something that the Old Testament, the Torah, speaks about, which is about a girl's or a woman's menstruation, when she becomes nida, what takes place when she gets her period. And even the Old Testament has value for what happens to the woman's body and what steps do you take and what do you need to do. And menstruation, intimacy, connection to all of that is a big significant factor of a relationship and a woman's life. Just like in order for you to have a beautiful apple tree, it's not just about planting the seed. It's about giving it enough water, enough sun, enough nutrients that it needs to be able to give back to you a beautiful apple tree. So the girls, from the time that they're young, when at the age is appropriate enough, it's important for them to learn about what happens to their body, why it happens, what does it, like how is it, instead of them experiencing it, not knowing, and becoming very uncomfortable and frightened. Further, the girls' bodies, just the body, as a whole, the totality. I did a video earlier today, a class on it, that how we need to be very mindful of what we tell our girls when we want to tell them not to be immodest, about kind of keeping their private parts private and changing in the room, changing with the door closed. We need to stop using words like in Farsi they say eibe, zeshte, it's not proper, it's ugly, that you're naked. Absolutely not acceptable. A woman's body, a boy's body, we all are blessed with beautiful bodies, and our bodies are sacred and need to be taken care of with dignity and respect. And their kids' bodies belongs to them, and they need to have ownership, respect, and dignity for it. We don't tell them to not change in the living room because their body is ugly. God forbid. We tell them to change in their room because their body is special and private. These are two completely different messages about the same thing. And the more we create a healthy connection to the girl's body from the time that she's a child, when she becomes an adult and 18 and 19 and gets married, she's comfortable with her body. The Torah, Judaism teaches us about the woman's body being valuable and being a queen and royal, and that's why you dress modestly, you take care of your beauty, you need to look presentable, but you don't need to flaunt and look voluptuous and look seductive in the outside. That what happens in your bedroom with your husband is a whole different story, but the outside does not need to have access to that. So it's not that your body is bad. Your body is beautiful, but it needs to be sacred and private. So when you You are telling your daughters or your girls, I don't care how old they are, from the time they're 1 or 2, you don't use words like ugly, not nice, not proper. You say your body is beautiful and needs to be private. You don't go and show it to everyone or let anybody just look at certain private parts of your body. When kids are about age 9, I would say 9, 10 is a good age to start the conversation gradually, letting them know that as they get older, their body's going to go through certain changes. And some girls might ask for it earlier than others. And it's good to have a natural conversation, just letting them know that the girls' bodies go through changes. And as they get closer to puberty, some changes happens in their body, whether it's about the hair that grows on different parts of the body, the breast getting bigger, and the different changes that take place on the woman's body, on the girls' bodies. It's important for them to feel a sense of control and a sense of understanding of what in the world is happening with my body. Just like we help children become potty trained, just like we help children become sleep trained, just like we help our children understand language and communication, they have a right, and us as parents have an obligation to help our children understand that in a very natural, calm, and clean and nice way. So I'm working on this beautiful movement of our tents, of helping girls have a connection with the different stages and ages of their life that they're in. So the pink bow and the pink tent is to cover about that stage of life. When the girls are like ages 9, that they're just learning about their body, learning about getting period, what does a period mean, and helping them understand it, that your body is going through certain maturity level. And when you become a bigger girl, your body goes through what's called a period. I have a video on that on YouTube under Natalie Zangon about period that's more detailed. So it's about easily helping them understand what a period is and helping them get comfortable with it and letting them know that this is a certain stage of life. It starts and then it ends. It's not ongoing. It's not forever. It's not until you pass away. There's a certain prime time of your life that you get your period, and then there's a more higher prime stage of your life, which is usually between 20 to 30s. That's you're in a prime best time of having children, getting pregnant and starting your family. And then there's a stage in your life when you're in your mid 50s to late 50s where the period ends. So it starts and ends. There's a beginning and there's an end. It's important to help them understand it. A period has certain stages. It's about 4 to 7 days, and then it ends, and then it's going to happen once a month, every 28 days. So you help them get comfortable with that. The next stage would be the red tent, which is the next stage of the life, which is usually like the ages of 20 to 40. The red tent, the red bow, is about the group of women who are young adult, adolescents, young adult, going into the dating world, starting a family. What goes under that category? When now you're married, you're going to start your early stages of becoming a mother, having children, if that's part of your plan and God's plan. They're your role as a mom, as a wife, as a caregiver, as a take care, giving to the family. And if you work outside, that's beautiful. But to also always tell your girls, no matter what stage and age you are in your life, don't ever stop having self-love for yourself, getting up every morning, taking care of yourself, having your tea, taking care of yourself and looking presentable. Don't ever stop having hobbies, and don't ever stop having friends. Don't ever stop having self-love, hobby, and good friends, because these are essential no matter what stage and age of life you are in. If you put this on hold, then you'll have a reality check when you get older. So don't ever stop having these and making a priority in your life to have self-love, hobbies, and good friends, because that is a factor that makes a big impact on your life, to go through emptiness, depression, anxiety, because you're like, who am I now? So don't ever stop existing as who you are just because you're married and you have kids. Make sure to have different layers to who you are. So the red tent, the red bow group would be the women that are married, that have kids, that that starting that stage of their life, they're relating to themselves. They are not just for themselves. They are there for their family, to take care of their husband, their kids, the things that they're involved with, which is beautiful. Women need to be productive. Even if you have kids, be productive. Do things other than that to give yourself a sense of meaning and connectivity to the world and the community, making the world a better place. By giving of ourselves in different ways, we make ourselves feel better and we make the world a better place. So the red tent is kind of like the hardest, most challenging part of our life, because we got to be divided up in many years. So it's about, like, let's say maybe like 20 to 30 years of our life that we got to be the most providing, effective, do this, do that. And then we reach another section and chapter of our life, which we're going to be calling the purple tent. The beautiful royal queen. And also during the red tent stage, it's about the relationship, it's about the connection, it's about the husband, it's about getting comfortable with your body, not only for yourself, also for the intimacy and the relationship and the connection of how do I connect the I and thou. If I'm not comfortable with on my own body for myself, if I don't feel valued and respected, if I don't adore my body for what it stands, how in the world am I going to share it with another person? How am I going to be intimate if I don't have enough emotional ability or emotional skills to communicate my needs? How in the world am I going to offer it in my relationship? So the red tent, the red bow stage of our life has a lot of that with it. I have to get comfortable with myself. I have to get comfortable with my spouse. I have to get comfortable with sharing my time, my life, my body, my home, my everything into this beautiful connectivity that's called a relationship. The next stage, so also according to the Torah, we have the laws of Taharat HaMishpacha. So like that 20 years of our life is that 2 weeks you have your period, no physical contact, only emotional intimacy. The other 2 weeks, you could do everything. Again, 2 weeks emotional intimacy, 2 weeks emotional and physical intimacy. So you have that, hoping that both are going to be built to create a strong relationship with each other. Then you enter the next stage of your life, which is what? The emotional intimacy kind of is going to be strong enough because you're entering the purple tent. What's so significant about the purple tent? It's very mystical. It's very Kabbalistic. It's when you're turning close to your 40s. We know that men can start learning Kabbalah in their 40s. And what happens in the mid-40s is when menopause starts hitting. Premenopause, menopause, where the woman starts going into early menopause if it's before 40, but like premenopause and menopause is usually in early 40s. And also during the time when a woman has her period, she has this nice dance between her estrogen and progesterone. The estrogen makes her feel better, stronger, she feels powerful, when she feels good about herself. But when her estrogen goes down and when she gets her period, she has these mood swings that she's constantly going through, up and down. And the healthier level of estrogen that she has, the stronger she's attracted to her husband's testosterone, and there's a beautiful attraction happening. But if there isn't enough estrogen, then there's a mess up with the hormones. It also affects the attraction. Going back to the red tent now again. And remember, birth control affects the hormones of the woman. Infertility drugs affects the hormones of the brain and the woman. Stress impacts the woman's hormones. There are even cases of women in their late 20s who hit menopause due to frustration and stress and tension in their life. So stress causes adrenaline and cortisol, and it affects our hormones and can even make a woman go into her early menopause. So the purple tent and purple bow, we are going to the next transition and stage of our life. It brings a lot with it. It's heavy. It's that change again, like when you were 11, 12 and you just got your period and you're like, what is this? Why do I have to get it? There is, like kind of like the 5 stages of grief. There's like that denial, like how could this be happening to me? It's not happening to me. Then there's that anger. I'm so mad. I can't believe I'm getting my period. It goes on. Then there's the blame. It's because of this that happened to me. It's because of that. And then there's the depression, that sadness of grief. I'm not going to be going to the mikveh anymore. I don't have my period anymore. What's going to be of my life now? What is it going to be with my relationship? And then depression, depression, that's sadness, and then acceptance, which is, this is where I am. This is exactly where I need to be, and having appreciation for that. And for women who got married young and had their kids in their 20s, this is also the next stage. The kids are growing up, they're leaving the house, the mom is not as needed, lunch, breakfast, dinner, homework, the kids are becoming self-sufficient, or some might have left the house. So this woman now in her mid-40s, maybe early 50s, is saying, who am I now? What am I about now? What's my existence now? Where have I been? What do I like to do? What do I want to do? There isn't as much chaos and busy life. So where am I in my life now? So it's a very, very mystical, Kabbalistic stage of our life, which it's so important to be ready for it from the time that you're 10 years old, so you don't have this crisis 40 years into it of figuring yourself out now. So making sure, like, what did I say? Self-love and self-respect should always be there. Hobbies should always be there. And good friends should always be there, so that you don't have this identity crisis suddenly in your mid-40s or early 50s. So having that self-respect and self-love from that age always makes a difference. And telling your girls, you're valuable, you're loved just for being who you are. I appreciate you for who you are. I want to know how you're going to go into the world and make it a better place. So meaning that being a wife and a mother is just an add-on to this amazing person that you are. This stage of our life brings with it a lot of mysticism, of mystical learning, creating, finding out, who am I? How am I going to make the world good? What do I have to contribute to the world? What are my talents? What are my hobbies? What are the good things I could give to the world now that I have some extra time on my hand? Then that's the next 20 years of our life, like 40 to 60s to mid 60s. And then we ended with the beautiful golden tent or the golden bow, which is about the age of 65 and above. This is the stage when, people that are blessed with children become grandparents, the retirement, a whole complete different stage of our life. And again, don't ever forget to never stop exercising, eating healthy, taking care of your body, being productive, doing good things to keep your health well, because that's what makes the biggest difference. So that in the golden years, in the golden tent, you'll have a lot to offer, that you are so valuable and cared for. So in an ideal case, like the period stage is about almost half of our life. It's not our entire life. God willing, we'll be blessed to live a long, full life. So it's really important to bring all of that together and understand that the woman is constantly going through this transformation. Letting your girls know how beautiful and gorgeous they are. Letting them know about the beauty within them. Teaching them to enjoy music, enjoy dancing, gymnastic, whatever it is, that's exercise and movement. Helping them get comfortable with their body, the feminine energy, the beauty that's in it. Learning from Miriam HaNaviya that when they crossed the Red Sea, she went and got her tambourine and started dancing, showing them the verse of Tehillim number 150, the last parak. Come, hallelujah, hallelujah. Come and celebrate and pray with me, with your tambourine, with your singing, and with your dancing. Getting girls to get comfortable within a modest setting of celebrating music, dance, and the beauty of the feminine energy is so essential for them from the time that they're young, so that once they turn into becoming an adult, into becoming a wife and a mother, it's already part of them, that when they look in the mirror, they know how beautiful they are, how good they are, how amazing they are. And also learning about the hormones for yourself, knowing your body, writing it on the calendar. I'm getting my period. This is day number 1. When I'm feeling stressed and anxious, if I have it on the calendar, I go look it up. I'm like, oh, this is why I'm getting angry, edgy, and frustrated, because my period is coming in 2 days. My estrogen and progesterone are going down, so my mood is feeling low. It's from within me that I'm feeling all the feelings that I'm feeling. I'm so excited to be launching our tent, the beautiful feminine tent. We're gonna have captain and coaches for our pink tent. We have our beautiful Michaela that's going to help us with leading our pink tent. I'm going to be leading the red tent. I have my beautiful sister Orly that's going to help me lead the tents. I have my beautiful Doda that's going to help us to lead the other tents. And together with other recruiting more and more women to participate in our movement, to create education, awareness, love, and attention to the beautiful feminine energy that's within all of us, because God created us exactly according to His will. Thank you so much for watching. This is Natalie Zangon. If you enjoyed it, make sure to share it and watch my other videos on YouTube and subscribe under Natalie, Natalie Zangon, Zangan. And on Instagram also, Natalie Zangon. Thank you so much and have a beautiful, blessed day.